Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today, folks, we're trying to get a nice, good old-fashioned do-over, a restart, a mulligan, so to speak. We're going to try and begin anew. This card's weird, folks. Green, green, white, white. Destroy all creatures. Creature cards in your hand perpetually get +1/+1. So it's like, do you want me to play creatures or not? Normally, when you have Doomskars and Wrath of Gods and things in your deck, you don't want to play a bunch of creatures, right? But this card specifically wants you to. So there's a bit of a dichotomy there, and we're trying to work with that some. On the whole, we are kind of a little bit tap-out-y, right? With tap-out control-y, with 8 main deck board sweepers, 4 Doomskars, 4 Begin Anews, right? But we're trying to take advantage of the card advantage side of Reckoner Bankbuster. This is one of those brand new cards where you can pay 2 and tap it to draw a card, but then you can also crew it up and it's a vehicle. And later on, once you remove all the counters, you get a little dude that helps you crew and stuff, But it's also kind of a Maze Mind Tome, honestly, for those of you familiar with that card, for the first several turns. So we draw some cards, then we crew it up and beat down. But this also doesn't get killed by board sweepers, right? Similarly, we have planeswalkers like the Wandering Emperor and Garruk Wrath of the Wilds that both have to do with creatures, so we are trying to get a little aggressive with them there, but also don't require creatures, right? And then we've got our Legendary Dragon Spirits, which is 5 mana, 5/4 Flying Vigilance, one of the brand new AO cards here. And it's just about as good dying as it is living. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You can put any number of non-land permanent cards, total mana value 4 or less from among them, onto the battlefield. The rest on the bottom. So we can get, some of our planeswalkers, or basically removal spell here, Banishing Light style effect, Reckoner Bankbuster stuff. Or you can put 2 counters on each permanent you control that's a creature or a vehicle. So if it just dies in combat or whatever, grow the rest of our team. Kind of nice. Kura, very similarly, 5 mana, 4/4 Flying Death Touch. When it dies, choose one. Search your library for up to 3 land cards. Does not say basic land, folks. Search your library for up to 3 land cards. Reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle. So we can go and get, like, our man land, stuff like that. Or create an XX green spirit creature token, where X is the number of lands you control. So we can create a... if we end up having to kill our own Kura or whatever, we create a big old landy creature after the board sweeper, right? Then we have Hollowhenge Wrangler, kind of a nice card for value engine in the late game. When it enters, seek a land. Then you can discard a land card to conjure a Hollowhenge Beast, which isn't anything special. It's a 5 mana, 5/5. But it's kind of nice for the late game, if you're really, really grinding, to do that sort of thing. Last but not least, we have a few weird ones. A 6 mana creature called Greater Tanuki. It's just 6/5 trample. But you can pay 3 to channel, which means discard it. Search your library for a land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, shuffle. So a little bit of a cultivate style effect, right? Then we have Old Gnawbone. 7 mana, 7/7 flying. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasures. Why are these in here? Well, folks, it's because of Settle the Wilds. 3 mana, seek a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. Then seek a permanent, mana value equal to number of lands you control. So we're mainly trying to settle the wilds up into our 4s, 5s, and stuff. But if we get into a 6, we get to seek out a Greater Tanuki, which is kind of a big creature that tramples. Even though it's not really close on rate, it's not a mythic wild card power level, but being able to get it for free is nice. Or if we have 7 mana, we can go and get an Old Gnawbone, which is pretty nice. Then, of course, we're playing some lands, some of the new lands, legendaries, and man lands as well. But, that said, let's go see if we can get some wins, shall we? All right, folks, here we are against Robcar. And I mean, like, this is, I guess, what we wanted when we drew up this deck. If we you know, if our opponent isn't playing creatures, then this is not a great hand. It does appear as though our opponent's playing creatures, though, so okay. Boulder Loft Pathway, come on down. Settle the Wild's a little awkward here because it's green-green colorless. And our Doomskar, which is likely to be really important against Tenacious Pup decks, our Doomskar is white colorless, so inconvenient. Hey, nice. That's a good one. So, I think we're going to foretell a Doomskar this turn. Go with Branch Loft Pathway. Settle the Wilds next turn. Opponent does have a land drop. Khazad-dû Valley. Okay. We're going to take a good solid hit here, but I think that's okay. Well, actually, suddenly I'm worried. Because this is a tapped land, and this seeks up a basic land. We don't know which one it's going to be. So maybe this is just better. What if... Alright, let's play it safe. Let's not take a big hit. Let's just Doomskar. Next turn, we can put down an Arctic Tree Line, hold up Fateful Absence. You know. Werewolf Pack Leader is a nasty, nasty card. And we do have 2 Begin Anew, so it's not like we're, you know, helpless here. Alright, feels good, man. We are just about a lock to Fateful Absence this Old Growth Troll. Yeah, okay. Well, we're not going to take the damage here. We're just going to do it. Opponent gets to ramp a wee bit. Yep. Grizzled Huntmaster comes down. Thinking about it. We'll exile another Grizzled Huntmaster. Looks like. Dead. And... thinking. Considering. Yeah. They get something. A card. And crack a clue. Okay. Reckoner Bankbuster. Okay. Well, that's fine. Settle the Wilds. We get a white mana and a Greater Tanuki. Reckoner Bankbuster comes down. Being able to begin anew a bit here would be nice. The Old Growth Troll coming from... oh, crud. Frog Emyth. That's scary. Alright, down to 10. Yep. And going to exile a Settle the Wilds. Opponent gets a Snow-Covered Forest onto the battlefield. Okay, so let's just begin anew. And not going to play this. Absolutely going to be holding this up as removal. But 7/6 trample, 8/8 trample in our hand. Opponent thinking about that little troll there. Goes with Lupine Harbinger. Okay. It's a 9/9. Man. Did not expect that card. I guess we have to draw a card here and pray. Another Bankbuster. Not going to quite do it. But the Fateful Absence can kill the troll. So that much is very, very good. And we can hold this up. So... as terrified as we are to be sitting at the life total we are, this is a good thing. To have the Fateful Absence is a good thing. You know, we don't get, we don't end up getting wrecked by an instant speed troll on our end step, untap, kill you thing, you know. Alright. Reckoner Bankbuster. And a Doomskar. Well, we've got a pass. Holding up Eiganjo, Seat of the Empire, to kill a Sculptor of Winter. If they have another haste creature as well, we're, you know, pretty stone dead. But Definitely want them to attack first. And pray. Fateful Absence. Yep. 1 is not 0, folks. 1 is not 0. Clue gets cracked. And a creature? Oh, okay. Well. Old Gnawbone or Greater Tanuki? Greater Tanuki allows us to Reckoner Bankbuster there, which would be very, very nice, because then we get a dude. Okay. Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one. And Old Gnawbone. Crew up. Attack. Opponent drops to 10. We create 12. Treasure tokens. Going to Reckoner Bankbuster. And hold up for Wandering Emperor, I believe. And opponent. Oh. 1 is not 0, folks. 1 is not 0. GG. Rob card, GG. I mean, yeah, I guess. Let's hang on to this. Okay, the opponent starts on Snow-Covered Forest. I guess we will start on Cave of the Frost Dragon. See what they have to say about that. Faceless Haven makes it to the battlefield and foretells. Alright. Is this those wolves again? Because this would be on turn 2. We will need to try and track that. I guess we're going to Boseiju, who endures, for a Reckoner Bankbuster, so we can start drawing cards from it if we want to. It'll also leave open the door for Settle the Wilds next turn. Alright, so this should be 1 larger. And Puchitoke makes a land drop. Cemetery Prowler exiles nothing. Yep. These things are fine. I think we will Settle the Wilds here. Grab ourselves a 4-drop Planeswalker. And see what our opponent has to say. It's another Snow-Covered Forest. Ulvenwald Oddity. Alright. Going to exile or Settle the Wilds. Not particularly thrilled about that, but okay. We drop to 13. It is now 2 bigger. Yeah, I think we're just going to Doomskar. Not super thrilled about that. But this does enable us to begin anew next turn and Reckoner Bankbuster and start drawing cards if it comes to that. Oh, crud. Unnatural Growth. That's terrifying. Well, I am really scared that this is going to come out of their hand and just kill us next turn. So, I think we're going to plan on wandering with the Emperor next turn and busting the banks. Because the Puchitoke... Okay, Faceless Haven. Yeah, going to double up. Inconvenient. And attack. Alright, well. Then the Wandering Emperor, come on down. Make a dude. Yep. We will block. We got it. We will need an instant speed answer to this Faceless Haven. But for now, Reckoner Bankbuster, draw a card. It's a Greater Tanuki. And a still not... Well, I guess we do have the Eiganjo here. Maybe that was better. Maybe we were supposed to kill the Faceless Haven there. Alright. Let's make a dude. Alright. And... yeah, this card, easily lethal right now, if it is the Wolfie thing. Okay, Ulvenwald Oddity. And Blizzard Brawl. That stinks. Because it's going to be a 10 power creature, right? So I guess we've got to touch the Spirit Realm. Yeah. Reckoner Bankbuster. Oh, this is... Yeah. Oh boy, we did get there. Holy crud. I am thrilled about that one, let me tell you. The Fateful Absence here. A big, big game. If we do this, we cannot hold up Fateful Absence and Eiganjo, and we are likely to need both. So, what if we just begin anew here? And then, yeah, the Eiganjo much worse because of this natural growth, unfortunately. We don't have any enchantment destruction, does it? Okay, well. Okay. We had to try, folks. But our opponent not having any of that junk. We grow our Greater Tanuki. Opponent makes a land drop. Cast the Lupin Harbingers. We kill it. Okay. This is not great. This only gets tapped creatures, and this is only going to deal 4 damage. The unnatural growth, absolutely what the doctor ordered for our opponent. So I guess Garruk, come on down. Do a bit of drafting. Get... We don't have 8 lands, right? We have 7, yeah. Could play the Eiganjo, but it's got to be better than nothing. So I guess we'll just Truffle Snout, gain some life, even though it's unlikely to matter. Just every couple life is helpful. Get down another one of these. Opponent passes. Faceless Haven can come alive, become a 6/6. I think we block with both anyway. Just in case they have something like Snakeskin Veil. Okay, yeah. And then, of course, we will use the Eiganjo, right? We are essentially throwing away a creature here. But I guess Snakeskin Veil kind of beats us up anyway. Opponent. So I guess it was better to block with 1 there. I guess that's a punt. Because one way or another, they kind of get us with Snakeskin Veil. So, never mind. I guess I was thinking too, or I was overthinking that too much. Because I don't think there's another going to be commonly played trick that this deck's going to run. And we do end up throwing away a 2/2 Vigilance for that. The Truffle Snout is whatever. You know, it's not... That's not a great creature by any means, but... You know. Alright, well. Begin anew. Opponent gets an Old Growth Troll. Don't much care for that. We do want... We need to tap this for a card here very soon. Let's see, what do we do here? Truffle Snout immediately comes down with a 1/1 counter on it. That's got to be good, right? Because we don't want to just throw away our Wandering Emperor. So, make this into a 4/4. It's true. The Old Growth Troll is going to be an 8/8 with that unnatural growth, so it's going to be very, very difficult to compete with these smaller creatures. Oh. With these smaller creatures, and this is trampling. Ay, ay, ay. But okay, so that's a 16 power creature, folks. Not ideal. No, no, cancel that. Please don't. Not that. Okay. Well, I guess this does tap. It won't have vigilance, right? Yeah, okay. Well, that's different than the other land. So our Wandering Emperor can not get it, because we will die this turn, right? So we've got to plus with Garruk, land Greater Tanuki, and put a counter on the... Yeah, this is all decidedly unfortunate, folks. The Wandering Emperor puts a counter on the Greater Tanuki, granting it first strike. Okay. So, opponent on end step, going to make an Old Growth Troll. It's going to go from a 4 to an 8 to a 16. But it does tap to attack. So we can theoretically take all of this damage as long as they don't have another hasty creature. And then strike back. Wolf or werewolf you control gets +2/+2. Okay. Yep. Yeah. All right, let's see. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18. Can't quite... No, no, no. We can kill them with Cave of the Frost Dragon, right? So we just take all this damage? All right. Our turn. Brew up. Animate. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Math? Checks out. GG. All right, folks. I did a little bit of mental punting there, but good enough to get the win anyway. So GG, Puchto, GG. All right, folks. Howling Fantad, our opponent. This hand is super awkward, but we're going to keep it. We have these Reckoner Bankbusters to draw us out of it, hopefully. We get started on a tap land turn 1. We have very few tap lands in the deck, right? We have 2 Arctic Tree Lines, and then, like, Cave of the Frost Dragon and Lair of the Hydra, that if you don't play them on turns 1 or 2, they're tapped. But other than that, they're not tap lands either, right? So it's literally just the 2 Arctic Tree Lines. Getting them out of the way are nice. Oh, crud. Ruin Crab. With the Evolving Wilds? Nice. All right. Folks, I believe our opponent is trying to mill, using things like Tasha's Hideous Laughter and copying those things. Okay, well, Reckoner Bankbuster, draw a card. I guess. The Kura, not a bad draw, because we're going to begin anew next turn, almost certainly. They don't have a ton of creatures in this deck normally, so just killing a Ruin Crab is kind of fine, you know? So growing our primary game-ending threats is pretty good. We just got to pray that this resolves. So, it does not. Our opponent has a land drop that knocks us out of the game, I think. But we'll see. We're not strictly dead. We have other good draws. You know, we could get Board Sweeper here or Removal Spell or something. And the problem is we're already down to 37 cards, right? Okay. Well, we're going to do this. Oh, darn it. We were supposed to tap the mana first. Oh, my gosh. I was going to say, just to play around the Dwyer Disruption. Oh, thank heavens. I was going to say, we might lose the game there, and that would be tragic. Oh, my gosh. You gotta sequence it right, folks. You gotta sequence it right. But okay. Land, please. Opponent makes a land drop. Casts a Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Exiles quite a few. 12, looks like. Well, that's not great. But, you know, because we really, really wanted to land there. Do we just draw anyway? Yeah, I think we've got to make a land drop here. So we're going to go ahead, Reckoner Bankbuster, try and draw into our land drop. Hey. Come on, man. Yeah, I don't think we have enough cards remaining to be in this game. Alright. Howling Phantom. Alright. Plays land. Galvanic Iteration, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. GG. It's Maddening Cacophony. Okay. And that's not thrilling, but it's actually not the end of the game, so can't complain too much. Kura. Yep. Crew up. Attack for our first 4 points of damage. Not quite the way we drew it up, folks. Not gonna lie. Are we dead? Did you get it? Did you get it? Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Hey, we hit some of our big ones that time. Greater Tanukis, things like that. Doomskar, yeah, okay. Well, then we could draw. Yeah, all right. Ayo. Is it another counterspell? Crew up with Ayo. Combat. Opponent. Fading Hopes. Okay. I mean, that's not amazing or anything, but it's also not the end of the world because they did it pre-attack. So this is still lethal next turn. We have 2 cards remaining in library, folks. If this could mill, it would have already. Oh my gosh. We got him! Never didn't have it. Never didn't have it. Folks, our high CMC cards there are really coming in clutch. Of course, for those of you who... I guess I should have explained this at the time. But Tasha's Hideous Laughter exiles top cards of their library until that player has exiled total mana value 20 or more. So we're trying to have 4 drops, 5 drops. We've got the Greater Tanuki here for finding things. We have a bunch of Doomskars that we're intending to cast for 3, but actually cost 5. Begin Anew, things like that. So our opponent's Tasha's Hideous Laughters did not exile nearly as many cards as they normally would, so... Whew. Close one, but GG, Howling Phantoid. GG. Alright, folks, we are back, and yeah, that was wild. I ended up playing 5 games. We're probably only going to show you 3 of them because they were really, really long, wild, and grindy games. We lost a very, very close one to White-Black that was right down to the wire, but it took 1.5 million years. Ended up, their creature lands killed us because we don't have enough instant speed interaction. We had 2 wins against Mono Green that were both, like, ridiculously close. Could not believe that. Then we lost a game because we kept a 2-lander on the play, and literally at the end of the game, we had not drawn another land yet. We were just stuck on 2 the entire game and eventually died. It stinks, too. You know, we had cards we could have cast, but, you know, what do you do? And then the last one was a win against Blue-Red Mill, and that was wild. It was a lot of fun, folks. Would I recommend building this deck? Yeah, I think so. I think the deck will be relatively good against the current expected meta. Lots of mono green, mono white style aggressive decks. Begin Anew here isn't growing a fistful of creatures, but it was pretty consistently growing something. You know, a Greater Tanuki or Kura or something there, just sitting in our hand. Was kind of nice when it was doing its thing, so mission accomplished on that. But it was also, you know, the sort of deck you were looking to, you know, you wouldn't mind having against the meta, where We are sweeping the board a lot against those really, really aggressive decks and messing them up. As far as things I might do differently, you might consider a little more interaction against manlands. So maybe some, you know, land destroy land stuff. Or maybe even just more Boseiju Who Endures. You'll probably have to tweak the rest of your main board. I don't think you want to go below 24, but you also need plenty of lands to actually cast your stuff, because we do need white on 3 because of Doomskar, and we need white on green as well because of Settle the Wilds. Or I'm sorry, green on 3 because of Settle the Wilds. So they're a little bit conflicting there. But, you know, on the whole, though, honestly, the deck did great. So I would not complain at all. We'll probably end up playing this on stream at some point, so we'll see when that is. But I thank everybody who watched. Please drop that like and subscribe and all that kind of junk, you know. I appreciate it. And I will catch you all next time.